we've got a Big 12 favorite, folks. We've got a Big 12 favorite. Whether the Big 12 wanted there to be one or not, there is. Because the Big 12 did not do a preseason media poll. That didn't stop an unofficial media poll from happening. Shout out to the Gambling Gauchos. It also did not stop Brett McMurphy, now of On3, to take a poll of Big 12 head coaches that were at Media Day to see who they think is going to make the Big 12 championship game. And it did not stop Bill Connolly of ESPN for releasing his model, his S&P Plus, one of the best that's out there, from picking its conference champ. And guess what? All of those entities, coaches, media, and Bill Connolly's S&P Plus model, they all picked the same team to win the Big 12. They all picked the same team. And frankly, like I am very surprised. I am very surprised. I'm honestly a little bit leery of it and disappointed. And if you guys know my background, you guys know what college I went to school at, you guys know who gave me this comms degree that allows me to sit here and talk on this microphone on YouTube as eloquently as I do, you guys will know exactly why I feel that way. Okay, so Big 12 got rid of its preseason media poll. For those who have been living under a rock or at least just not watching this channel, and it did surprise me. Let me make this little point. It surprised me a little bit, some of the pushback that I saw to this. Some people just really do not get this. And, you know, so Tom Fernelli, and it seems like it's two camps. National people, which some of this, it makes it really hard. I try to be very understanding to national reporters, like people who cover the sport, whether it's a show, reporter, whatever. I try to be very cognizant of the fact that, yeah, what's going to drive numbers on their content is SEC and Big Ten. I get it. That's why I'm here doing this Big 12 show, because the Big 12 definitely deserves dedicated coverage. But I get where their audiences are. But it really seems like the people who covered the sport on that level are very dismissive of this, just for the sake of being dismissive of the Big 12 and thinking, well, this is silly. The Big 12 is stupid because it's just this little dumb conference. I mean, that's the attitude that you get. I like Tom Fernelli. I really like the Cover 3 podcast. It's an excellent college football podcast. There's a lot of vibes there from those guys of that type of attitude. And Tom Fernelli had a tweet where he was like responding to the Arizona State part specifically from Brett Yormark, where he said Arizona State was hurt by the preseason media poll. And he was like, oh, yeah, Arizona State, who made it and got a bye. Yeah, they were so hurt. Well, they were behind Boise. And that meant that in November, we were talking about whether Tulane or Army was going to hop the Big 12 champion to keep the Big 12 champion out of the playoff. Yes, it hurt Arizona State's perception. Yes, they also still got a bye because of how the format was set up, but they probably should have been. They certainly would have a case to be the 3 seed last year as opposed to the 4. They didn't get it, and there was really no consideration to it, in large part because of what the perception was of them before the season, that they were the worst team in the Big 12. It did hurt. But I would also say the real argument is that it hurt BYU, because BYU got no at-large love when they were picked 13th, and they're in a conference where the team picked 16th won it. You guys have heard me go over this a million times. It really seems like such a common sense thing to me that, like, yes, of course that made a difference. But there's this national attitude to it. Bill Connolly, in the piece that I just mentioned, his S&P Plus that I was reading, he had the same attitude where he called it silly. Like, well, I don't understand, man. Look, I'll stand by your mark on that. Thank you for being proactive at fighting some of the narratives, doing stuff that Dan Beebe, Bob Bowlesby would never do. I very much appreciate that. The other crowd just seems to be like more of an older school crowd that's used to kind of the establishment ways things were done in college athletics before the last 5 years, and everything changed, and commissioners are being hired from the entertainment industry all over the place because it's a different world now. So that I'm a little bit more understanding of, right? Like I heard someone say, well, it's a story if the team picks 16th finishes first, and your job as commissioner is to be promoting stories. Yes, it's a story, and it gets a lot of run for all the wrong reasons. Hey, look, the last place team in this league won it. That means the league can't be any good. That's the insinuation or just outright declaration that comes with it. So no, you don't. You don't want to promote that story. This is, look, as a PR professional, PR 101, man. PR 101. Anyway, so that aside, Gambling Gauchos did the unofficial media poll. I voted in this. I did not vote this way. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now. I did not vote K-State number one, but K-State finished number one, whether you guys like it or not. All right. So bring this up on the screen for you to show you exactly how everybody finished in the Gambling Gauchos media poll. There you go. K-State 1, Arizona State 2, Baylor 3, Texas Tech 4, Iowa State rounds out the top 5. BYU fans, I'm sure, will, the same that we were hearing from at the beginning of the show, will not be very pleased with being number 8. Utah, a little surprised Utah wasn't higher at 7. Colorado fans probably won't be thrilled with being tied for 9th. And UCF, if you're looking at what's going to win the league based on last year, UCF, congratulations. Scott Frost in pole position to be a Big 12 champ based on last year by being picked 16th. Also, watch out for Oklahoma State, picked 13th in the BYU spot. Watch out for those teams. Oklahoma State destined to start 9-0 this year. Anyway, that is the media poll. All right, so there's one. Part 2, Brett McMurphy, formerly of the Action Network, now of On3. He polled the coaches on who they thought would make the Big 12 championship game. So obviously, if you're just running around, he's doing this at Big 12 Media Day. I assume, because that's when the story dropped right after that. I shouldn't totally declare that, but I assume that is the deal. In that situation, you can't ask them to rank everybody 1 through 16, but you can ask them, hey, who's going to make the Big 12 championship game? That's what he did, and there are the two choices, K-State and Iowa State. A Farmageddon rematch is what the coaches selected here, and it's very interesting how the voting specifically breaks down on this, because this is not just as simple as K-State 1, Iowa State 2. The voting, which is right here, look at that. Iowa State gets 7 runner-up votes. So all the votes they got were for runner-up, but because there were 7, they're there at number 2, just ahead of Arizona State, who a couple people did pick to win the league. 2 coaches picked Texas Tech to win the league, but 6 picked K-State to win the league, 2 more than anybody else. TCU, Baylor, Utah all also got a little bit of love. 2 people picked TCU to win the league. I'm telling you, don't sleep on TCU. There is great value based on where they're at in the preseason, over-under win totals, and Big 12 championship odds. Don't sleep on the Horned Frogs. They do have a tough schedule, but don't sleep on the Frogs at all. One coach in there on Utah. Would be really curious to know who that is. Coaches could not vote for themselves, by the way, which probably goes without saying, but just wanted to throw that out there so that everybody knows that. So now you got K-State as the media champ, K-State as the coaches champ, and just to pile on Bill Connolly's S&P Plus from ESPN, K-State picked first in the Big 12. They're 18th overall. Arizona State is 2nd and 22nd overall. And the S&P Plus picked out the top 5 games of the year based on the preseason rankings. 4 of the 5 involved K-State. So you've got Farmageddon in Ireland, TCU at K-State, Texas Tech at K-State, and K-State at Utah are 4 of the top 5 most important games in the league this year, according to S&P Plus. Texas Tech at Arizona State is the other. So why is K-State getting this much love is my question here, okay? Because I legitimately thought going into this offseason, hey, K-State was a bit disappointing last year. Started 7-1, finished 8-4, got drubbed at home. It was closer at the end than it probably should have been. Got really handled at home by Arizona State. Limped home to the finish line. Didn't play well in Ames. Avery Johnson had some bright spots. Did set the K-State record for passing touchdowns in a season, but he was very inconsistent. DJ Giddens is gone. Just thought, man, people are going to want to see consistency out of Avery Johnson before they're going to vote this team up at the top of the Big 12 standings. But here we are, late-ish in the offseason, and K-State is picked first. So why is that? Big 12 feels very wide open. That's been the narrative, like who's tier 1, who's tier 2. So many different teams could win it. You saw how many teams there by the coaches were picked all the way down to Utah of teams by coaches that they think can win it. So why would K-State be the favorite there? To me, there's one clear thing. There's one word here for why K-State is picked, and it's stability. It's stability. Because what you have in the Big 12 is a bunch of instability. The standings are wild. And I don't mean instability in terms of conference realignment, right? But instability in terms of the standings. Like, that's why they're ditching the media poll, because it got so wild in year one. Felt like it was going to be a bad move to keep doing that. You've got like eight, I would say like 7 or 8 teams that feel like they've got a legit shot to win this thing. Last year, 16 and 13 were the two biggest stories of the league. And so in an environment like that, you look around and you say, well, what team is most likely to be in the mix that I can count on to be in the mix? And if you say that, you look at K-State, 3 straight 9+ win seasons. Chris Klieman has won at least 8 games in every year except the COVID year at K-State. So you'd say, well, the odds are Chris Klieman is going to at least be in contention. And with so much fluctuation and stuff going wild, if they're at least going to be in contention, let me ride with that. That's what my guess would be here, combined with a little bit of Avery Johnson as a high ceiling. So it's stability with Chris Klieman, plus everybody can see the talent in Avery Johnson, even if you don't believe in the consistency yet, and say, well, that gives them a pretty damn high ceiling if things come together and he takes a step forward this year. Like, even last year, there's the narrative is certainly top 5 teams in the Big 12 struggled. Bottom half of the league did pretty damn well. Well, the top 5 teams up there, K-State, yes, disappointed a little bit, but not like the others. K-State still went 8-4, won a bowl game, and finished 9-4. So there's still some stability there. Okay, whereas you're looking at Arizona State, like, all right, yes, I understand they won the league last year, but they were 3-9 the year before. Kenny Dillingham is still 34, maybe 35 now. I don't know when his birthday was. He's younger than me. Can he deal with the expectations? That's not an established program where you've seen it. Texas Tech hasn't won 9 games in a regular season since 2009, a stat that they're sick of me throwing out there, but hard to trust. TCU has been super volatile. They go from playing for the national championship to not making a bowl game. Iowa State won 4 games in 2022, only 7 in 2023. Baylor damn near fired Dave Aranda last year in the middle of the season. So, like, how do you trust? How do you trust anybody else other than K-State to be there in contention? That would be my guess. That would be my guess. It's very stable. This is a bit of a corny analogy, but like, I love a good Poke Bowl, but they're very hit or miss depending on where you're at. And so, man, if I'm in the Midwest and I've got an option, 2 like fast casual lunch places right next to each other, and it's Poke Bowl place or Chipotle, I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to go with Chipotle because I know that that's steady. I know what to expect. I know it's going to be pretty good. Poke Bowl could be outstanding, and when they're good, they're definitely better. But I don't know that I can totally trust it. That would be my analogy there. So anyway, there you have it. K-State, Big 12 favorites. Big 12 favorites, everybody.